Ancient Greek Civilization, Core Knowledge, Domain 3. Athens and the Olive Tree, Lesson 6. Core Content Objectives. I can explain that the ancient Greeks worshipped many gods and goddesses. I can explain that Athens is named after the goddess Athena. I can describe the city-state Athens. I can describe how Athenians worshipped Athena. Language Arts Objectives. I can locate the city-state Athens on a map of ancient Greece and explain that it is named after the goddess Athena. I can categorize and organize facts and information on the ancient Greek civilization. Locate Athens on the map. You have heard about Athens previously when you learned about where the sculptor Myron was from. Can you predict how the city-state of Athens got its name? Far from the city-state of Sparta, another group of Greeks found the ideal place to build yet another new city-state. That high hill will be the perfect place to build a city around, these Greeks said. There is also a good harbor for boats just a short distance away. Almost all Greek cities were built around high hills. That way, if an enemy tried to attack the lower areas of the city, the people would climb up and gather on the high hill behind the city walls, where it would be harder for the enemy to reach them. Now that this group of Greeks had found just the place they were looking for, they needed a name for their city. One of the Greek stories tells us that while the Greeks were trying to decide on a name for their new city, an amazing thing happened. Two of the gods appeared to the people and spoke to them. The first appearance came when the Greeks were gathered at the nearby harbor. The huge, muscular figure of Poseidon rose up from the sea. All around him, dolphins leapt and played in the waves, and seabirds circled in the air around his towering head and shoulders that seemed to almost reach the clouds. "Hear me, little mortals," Poseidon boomed, and even those farthest from the shore could hear his loud voice. "You would be wise to honor me above all the gods and goddesses, for as Lord of the Sea, I can bring you good luck in your fishing." He lifted his vast hands and said, "Look! Hundreds of fish leapt from the waves and sank back again." Lowering his hands, Poseidon, who was the god of the seas and of all that crosses the seas, including ships, continued, "I can also bless the safety of your fishermen while they ride upon my waves, and see to it that the ships in which your merchants trade move swiftly and smoothly to distant shores and back home again. I, Poseidon, will do all of these things for you, and more, if you will honor me." The people were overjoyed to hear his words, and turning to one another, they said, "How wonderful! We shall tell Poseidon that we will pray to him above all other gods." But according to the story, before they could say this to the god of the sea, another voice called out to them, "Hear me, O people, for I too can offer you a gift and a blessing." This time it was a female voice they heard, speaking in calm, clear, intelligent tones. All the people turned in the direction of this new voice and saw before them Athena, the goddess of wisdom and of war. Athena told the people, "The gift I offer you is this." She too lifted a hand, but instead of anything as dramatic as hundreds of fish leaping up, all that appeared on the ground was one single, graceful tree. It grew high and wide on the very spot where a moment before the ground had been empty. "This is an olive tree," Athena said. The people did not want to be rude to the goddess, but they whispered to one another, "She offers us one tree? It is very pretty to look at, but it is nothing compared to Poseidon's blessing." Hearing all, Athena smiled and said, "Let me tell you about this tree. One day soon, all of these lands around you, even the rocky hills beyond that are hard to farm, will be covered in groves and groves of these olive trees. From these trees will come the wealth of your city, for you will eat the fruit you pick from these trees and never go hungry. The oil you squeeze from the fruit will be so delicious that its flavor will improve anything you cook with it." Fill a lamp with the olive oil, set a dry rope wick in it, and ignite it, and you will have light in the darkest hour of the night. Mix other sweet-smelling herbs into the oil and rub it onto your skin, and you will be healthier and cleaner and smell sweeter. And because the oil will stay fresh in jugs and bottles for a long time, you can ship it to other lands far and near, for many people will want to have these blessings of the olive oil for themselves. The tree itself will be a blessing too, for in its shade you will find shelter from the heat of the summer sun and from the cold rains of winter. The wood of this tree will be fine for carving, so you will never lack for bowls, plates, or furniture. The tree will live for hundreds of years, and if a fire burns it down, it will grow again from the stump that is left behind. Athena continued, "And I tell you this as the goddess of war. The olive branch will become the symbol of peace. Pray to me when you are in danger, and I will protect you." Athena gestured to the olive tree and said, "Here then is food, fortune, and protection that will be the great blessing of your people forever, if you choose to honor me." The people thought about what Poseidon and Athena had offered and came to a decision. They told the god of the sea, "Great Poseidon, you have offered us wonderful things. We will always offer prayers to you and be grateful to you for the riches of the sea. However much you choose to share them from your great and generous heart. But we will be the people of Athena and her olive tree." To Athena the people said, "To show our devotion to you, we will name our new city Athens in honor of you and your blessings." And that, the story tells us, is how these Greeks came to call their city Athens.